From Chaparral Motorsports, and here in front of me I have 4 KTMs with different levels of degraded chain and sprocket scenarios. This here is a brand new unit, obviously, and this is how your chain and sprocket look when they come out from the factory. In today's video, we want to talk about when it's time to change your chain and sprockets and what you can do to get the most longevity out of them. So the first thing to take a look at is here. If you can pull your chain here and see daylight between the chain and the sprocket, you absolutely need to swap these out. Number 2, if you notice a lot of side-to-side movement, there's no O-ring here, so you're going to have a little bit more play than we will on the O-ring chain we're going to step up to next. But you should never be able to twist the chain sideways. That means it's absolutely shot. And the third thing is slack between the links themselves. If you can move links forward and back individually, definitely a sign that you need to swap out your gear. Now, if you're riding on the street, like this guy right here in front of me, you're going to have an O-ring chain, and that chain's going to have less slop than this chain here from the factory. But you're going to see, as I move forward progressively, you're going to see telltale signs of when you need to change out your chain and sprocket. So moving up to this plated motorcycle here that gets ridden on the street, the O-ring chain here is going to make this chain really stiff as far as side-to-side movement. As the chain wears out, it's going to have a lot more movement as those O-rings disintegrate. Now, as we looked at before, we're going to go ahead and take a look. This is probably halfway worn, if you will. It's still in great shape. It's in good adjustment. But as you can see, as they start to wear, you're going to have more movement here. We have no slack in the chain forward and back, and side-to-side movement is about where it should be. This particular bike is a great example of when the chain wasn't maintained properly. The sprockets on this bike aren't as worn out as the chain, but the chain's been pretty beat. You can see that the movement here between the chain and the sprocket is relatively good, but the chain itself has major side-to-side movement. There's lots of movement in between the links themselves. So this chain is absolutely shot, but the sprocket is still in decent shape. So you always want to swap the chain and the sprocket out at the same time. Why? If you were to just swap out the chain and put a brand new chain on the sprocket, the wear that are already on this teeth are going to make that chain wear twice as fast. So you might as well just do all 3 pieces at the same time and be good to go for a longer period of time. So this here's the worst bike in the lineup. This is a good demonstration of all 3 of the ways that you can tell your chain and sprockets are worn out. Number 1, actually just looking down here, this chain almost hangs off the sprocket. There's so much slack in the chain and the sprocket's been worn down enough that there's just way too much movement. Number 2, the slack in the chain. This chain you can actually move almost half of a link in length. I mean, it's a significant difference. And then you've got that side-to-side movement. If you hit a big enough bump that slapped the chain up like this, and then that wheel was spinning, you could actually spin this chain right off the sprocket pretty easily. Definitely a dangerous situation. And there you have it, 3 telltale signs that your chain and sprocket are in need of replacement, or if they're good to go. Please refer to your owner's manual to take a look at the specified slack that's needed for your chain application. I'm from Chaparral Motorsports. Thanks for joining us in this video where we've shown you when to change out your chain and sprockets. Until next time, take care, ride safe, and enjoy yourself out there.